friends, welcome to Bronze Medal Moms, where we aren't going for gold, we're going for bronze on the daily. I'm Amy.
And I'm Amanda, and we're here to remind you that you don't have to be perfect to show up, survive, and even thrive in motherhood. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Bronze Medal Moms. Today we're changing things up a little bit. Amy and I are just gonna have a coffee talk. I think we're gonna try and do these once a month. What do you think, Amy?
I'm kind of excited about it. Who knows what kind of topics we'll talk about or questions we may answer from people who have commented on our Instagram or our loyal listeners. So, yeah, I'm excited
Right.
for coffee talk.
Well, and it might require more editing too on our parts.
Yeah, try to edit out the bloopers this time.
So you are living your best life this week.
I am. It is the best week of the year. Now, don't get me wrong. I miss my daughter and I've been stalking her camp photos that they post. And I do miss my husband, but they're both gone. So
It's
it
so
is,
magical.
oh my gosh, it is, no, it's not the best week. It's actually my most productive week of the year. I don't have to cook for anybody. I don't have to grocery shop for anybody. I don't have to drive anybody anywhere. I don't even have to leave the house for most days this week, except for a couple things I have to do at the theater. And I don't have to pick up after other people. All of that combined is a time suck during my regular week when they're all here.
I
It's
bet your grocery bill is super cheap this week too.
oh,
That you're like, I'm just
super cheap.
grazing all week.
Super cheap. Like it's the best thing ever. And when I go to bed at night, my house is exactly the same as when I wake up in the morning. There's no
Oh,
extra
magic.
shoes laying around. There's no one's laundry that didn't get put away. It is great, and I'm so productive. So I've got big
Uh,
things to do. Big things
so
this.
it's funny that you say that. You're like, yes, I love my husband, love my kids. But I grew up that my dad was in sales. And so it was just me, my sister, and my mom. And he was gone like Monday through Friday. He'd come back, like if we had a basketball game or something, he'd fly in for that, which now I see is like a huge undertaking. But he was mostly gone. And so my husband and I have joked about that we're like, one of us needs to travel. Like it's too much. It's too much you all the time. And then we'll start arguing or, things will be getting a little tense. The second someone leaves and is like, I'm going for the week or I'm going for a weekend or something like that, within an hour, we're like, I miss you. I love you. I miss you. And I'm
Yeah.
like, one of us needs to travel all
Yeah.
the time. Absent makes the heart grow fonder. We apparently that works for us.
I remember you saying you and I were in Dallas together last week. And I remember you said that. You were like, it's great. Our text messages have been so lovey and we miss each other. It's so great.
He actually responds to my text messages when I'm here. The text thread, it's just me talking. Like there's no, because then he'll see me later at home and he's like, oh yeah, I saw that. That was funny. Oh, hey, you said that. Yeah. And he'll respond to it. And I'm
Like
like,
in
no,
person.
I need you to like respond to the text. Somebody's going to see this and be like, wow, her husband doesn't talk to her at all. Just doesn't text.
Well, I've got big plans. One of them is like to clean out my office. The older I get, and maybe other moms can relate to this, I cannot deal with clutter. Like when my house is cluttered, it affects everything, especially my business and my productivity. And my office has somehow become the dumping ground for the rest of the clutter in the house as we've decluttered all the other spaces. So I am purging and minimizing the office today. I don't know what I'm going to do with all the stuff. When I get in these purge modes, I usually just put everything at the end of the driveway and tell everyone in my neighborhood it's all free, whoever wants to come get
Like,
it.
just come get it.
Yeah, just come get it. I want it out of sight, out of mind. So I'm
Just got to
excited.
notice that my computer is about to die. So I'm finding my cord.
Okay, go find your
I'm
cord.
I'm really good at
I
this.
do have, while you're finding your cord, I do have a quick update that I thought was funny that I want to share with our listeners. So if you listen to the episode, I think it was last week when I shared how I went home to Ohio to visit my parents and my grandma, who is 103. I was
I
eating
love your
popcorn.
grandma. Love
Yeah,
her.
She's like amazing, but also a freak of nature. So, my mom though, I was eating popcorn one night, and my mom literally looked at me and said, "Stop snacking on popcorn. You'll ruin your dinner." Do you remember me saying that?
Right, right. I remember.
So the episode aired and I was talking with my mom. She does not remember saying that.
At all.
Mom, but it just then like further solidifies that there are just some things as moms that we say or do that not only do we can't help it, it's like we don't even know we're doing it.
Right. It's like it's second nature. It just
Yeah.
comes out. It's like
Yeah.
blinking.
She's like, "Oh my gosh." She was like, "Did I really say that? I am so sorry." I'm like, "You did. It was so funny because I'm 47 years old."
And you told me not to ruin my dinner. Do you
Right.
ever get these? And maybe it's not the same with one kid, but I feel like I will get in these rants that all of a sudden I'm like, all right, did you get your shoes? You got your water. You got this. You brush your hair. Go make sure you go to the bathroom before we leave. Did you brush your teeth? You need shoes on. Did you get a snack today? You got to have that snack today. And it just goes forever that my husband is like, stop. You need to stop. And I was like, we're almost there. We're almost all organized and
Yeah.
together. But no, 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 no.
Well, I thought I had it all together with my daughter packing her from camp. I am a recovering overpacker myself. You know, travel's like my love language, but I'm a recovering overpacker. So I'm very minimalistic, only what we need. If we forget anything, we'll buy it. But I forgot to pack her a bed sheet for camp.
Oh, that's a big one. That's
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. I let her take my Minky blanket. So I don't know if anybody else has a Minky, but this company, which maybe they should sponsor the podcast because they make the most amazing blanket called a hug, and it literally feels like it's hugging you. I
Oh,
don't want to take that. So she has my Minky blanket, she has her fancy pillow, and she has a mattress topper, a foam topper, because we can't be sleeping on camp bunk beds without a bougie.
I mean,
I mean, come on.
what is this, camp?
But I forgot a sheet, so I'm sure she's figured it out. Or she's sleeping on a mattress topper, which is also fine.
Like you didn't have one to send her, or can you send her stuff?
No, no, she's not there long enough.
Yeah, that's true. All right, I can't find a charger, so if it just goes away, we'll figure it out. We'll edit
Okay,
that.
okay.
Um,
So what are you doing? What have you been up to this week?
so we are rocking. Speaking of packing, we just came back from our trip last week. But I'm in Austin. It was in Dallas, and so I drove. I mean, it looked like I was going to college. I had so much crap in that car and so much stuff I didn't even wear. I think I brought like 9 pairs of shoes for a 4-day trip. It was ridiculous. And I wore the same ones the whole time. But and that being said, I'm still recovering. If you saw me at this event in Dallas, the last night was an amazing um 90s Western party. And Amanda, for some reason, I really wanted, this is so stupid. I really wanted clean socks to wear home the next day and only had 1 pair of socks left. And so I was like, oh, I really want to have clean socks. First of all, why? Why did I want to have clean? It's just me in the car. Nobody cares. But I really wanted clean socks. So I decided to wear these Italian leather cowboy boots without socks. And
Ooh.
it is, my feet are covered.
Oh, yeah. Bad
I'm
idea.
still recovering from it. And I remember I was dancing and I was like, my feet hurt. And a friend asked another friend, like, she's wearing socks with those boots, isn't she? And she's like, surely she is. I was like, nope, I'm not.
Oh, yikes. Brutal.
But I had to tell him. So yesterday, I feel like this should be on everyone's list. Like you hit a certain age in life, you get a colonoscopy, you make sure you're going to a general doctor, you start taking your supplements, all the things. I feel like the full check for moles body scan should be on there. I think some people do go to a dermatologist all the time. I don't have a dermatologist.
Oh, I do. I do.
You go all the time?
All the time. I go for my yearly check, but I'm a recovering tanner and I am covered in like freckles and like age spots and all kinds of spots. So I'm constantly finding things and going to the dermatologist. And then they always tell me, well, that thing that you came in for is nothing, but this little thing over here is a problem. I'm like, oh, great.
Yeah.
So
So
I do,
I
but I agree.
the
Everyone should go for the all over body check.
yes, and I we were talking about this with some friends because I think a lot of people were talking about like getting their first colonoscopies and stuff like that, and they're like, "Oh, you're at that age,"
Yep.
and we're also at an age that we should be getting our bodies checked. And so I went for my first one yesterday.
Ooh.
I'd never done it before. It was very like, I mean, you're naked and they're just
Yeah,
scanning
you
you.
know, it's funny because when you go to the gynecologist, especially moms, you go to the, we've had babies, whether we birthed them or adopted them or whatever that looks like, but you're expected, or maybe you're kind of okay, like, you're going to get naked. It might be awkward, but like you
Right.
expect it. You don't expect it when you go to the dermatologist.
No, and might I add, when you go to the gynecologist, the chair is facing away from the door. So, like, if somebody walked in, they're not getting the shot.
Yes, yes.
That is not the case in the dermatologist.
You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
I mean, if anybody like forgot a pen or left something in the room and popped their heads in, they're getting quite a show. But so I had to explain to my dermatologist because she was scanning me and she's like, "What happened to your feet?" And so I had to tell her about the cowboy boot situation because she was like, "This is is this how your feet look all the time?" And I was like, "No, I promise they look normal." But sure enough, they scanned all over, and then I did have to have something biopsied. It's behind my ear.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like, I never would have found that ever.
no, it's the most random places, which is why people need to go get
Right.
checked. Yeah, every time. I had a spot on my scalp that just kind of itched. It wasn't,
Oh,
I couldn't feel a spot, I couldn't see a spot. Like I'd part my hair, there was nothing there. I just noticed it itched a little bit more than like a normal itch. And sure enough, I went in and she was like, oh no, that needs to be biopsied. And it was basal cell. I had to have a Mohs procedure to cut the cancer out. Yeah.
that's crazy.
So
And
crazy.
you would have never
Never,
known.
never. So I go at the drop of the hat. If there's anything that looks funny, itches funny, I had one spot that just felt like dry skin that was always dry. That had to be removed. Like I go all the time. Although I do have a very like awkward, embarrassing moment during one of these all over skin checks
Please tell. Please
in
tell.
girly bits. There there is, it's not a mole. I guess it's a freckle, but it's a dark spot. And she has to check it all the time because if anyone grew up tanning in tanning beds in the 90s
Yeah, you're naked.
and you tan buck naked, yeah, your dermatologist has got to check all the
Uh,
bits.
no, you were naked except for those little stupid stickers. What are
Oh
they
my
called?
gosh,
Stupid stickers?
I rocked the sticker. I never rocked the Playboy sticker. I
Because
rocked,
I was never had the Playboy
oh
sticker.
no, I never did. I always loved the palm tree sticker.
Oh, I always did a heart or a
Oh, I did a heart sometimes too. I
yeah.
remember one year, my husband and I, we always go to Jamaica. We've gone for like 23 years. And when I used to tan, man, I used to tan. I posted a picture not long ago of what I used to look like. And like my teeth looked like they were glowing. I used to get so dark. But one year in Jamaica, I had worn the palm tree like prepping to go. And
Right.
while I was in Jamaica, I had this white palm tree on my hip, and all of the locals were like blown away. They were like, "What is that? It's like a glow in the dark palm tree on your hip." I'm like, it's just because I tan with a sticker.
You're like, that's my natural skin color. Yes. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
So anyway, mamas, go get your all over body check. And I've
Yes.
also, this was my first year for the colonoscopy. Have you had yours yet?
So see, then there you go, because that's the difference. I have had gut health problems since I was 10.
Oh.
So I started having colonoscopies in my 20s
Oh, so you're
just
like,
to make sure.
everything.
So like I get it is nothing to me. I'm a colonoscopy and I call it being skewered when you do the colonoscopy and the endoscopy.
Oh, they go in from both ends.
Both ends. Just skewer it and make sure you're okay. I'm a pro at that.
You're a pro. Well, for any other moms out there or women who are not pros, and this you may be coming upon your first colonoscopy, it's just like the mammograms. People like freak you out about
I
them.
agree.
Awful. I was like, I actually thought the colonoscopy was fabulous. I got a whole like nap. I got
Hmm.
a whole day like off in recovery. My husband had to drive me. He had to pick me up. I came home. I went to sleep. I laid in bed. I binged Netflix. Like it wasn't bad at all. And the prep,
And doctor's orders. You had to rest.
I had to
Doctor's
rest.
orders.
And the prep leading up to it, I was expecting one, I'd have to drink a gallon of some gross stuff. That wasn't the case. It was like two little 6-ounce bottles. And then I expected major like stomach cramps and being up all night and like diarrhea all no. Like yes,
Yeah.
I went to the bathroom and cleaned myself out, but it wasn't like that at all. So don't put off your screening because people have freaked you out. It really was
Well,
kind of
and know that there are different ones. So if you have had problems in the past, they'll make you like fast or just drink clear liquids for like 2 or 3 days before. And those people don't like because they get cranky because they're hungry. But if you've never had one, you're doing bare minimum. Like it's nothing.
well,
It's
mine actually,
absolutely
I'd
nothing.
never had one, and mine had me do that like 3 days leading up. Like you do,
Really?
yeah, you do like the clear diet. I could have like cream of wheat and like chicken broth and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
I've had one that they're just
That
like,
just,
I don't know,
I
take
think
extra
that,
magnesium, you'll be fine. And I'm
I
like,
think it just helps. So then you're not like having Big Macs and then you go right into the cleaning yourself out.
right.
That's fine. And I couldn't have like anything red, you know. Anyway, it wasn't bad. And then I remember, so mammograms too, people
Yes. People you freak you out about those.
it freaked me. Yeah, and I've had both. So maybe we'll do a podcast episode on this, Amanda. But I had breast implants put in when I was like in my late 20s, I think. And then so I had breast implants put in. I had them while I was pregnant, had them while I breastfed for 5 years, and then I explanted a couple years ago. So I've had mammograms both with implants and without. With implants are harder because did you know they actually have to move the breast implant out of the way?
That sounds painful.
Yeah, it is.
That's painful.
But still
Makes my
not. I
boobs hurt.
remember
My
even,
boobs hurt now.
yeah, like they really got to manipulate it a lot and move it out of the way. And I remember even then telling the tech who I don't know what a mammogram tech is called, if there's a certain name, a mammographer maybe. I remember
That
telling them like
sounds very correct.
I was like, "Man, that's it? You're done?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I've been freaking out for nothing. All these women have me like terrified." Not a
I
big deal.
mean, it's not like nothing. Do you know what's more painful than a mammogram is when your toddler or something just jumps on your chest. That's more
Yeah,
painful
yeah.
than a mammogram.
Yes. Or you get like a kid's elbow to the face.
Right. That
Yeah.
and it lasts about as long. Like the discomfort, they're like, and we're done.
Yeah.
Done. I mean,
That's
it
it.
feels the same as a kid jumping on your chest. And you're
Right.
like, ow, that
Right.
wasn't great. And then
And
you're done and you're in the clear. Like, why would you not get these things knocked off?
well, and I've had it post explant too. And I mean, there's a reason I got implants because my girls are little and teeny tiny, which I love now. But so I've had both ends of the spectrum. And
I was
yeah.
gonna say stop. You can't even compete with my little boobs.
But I'm like, really? We're done? That's it? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So anyway,
that's
so anyway,
really
ladies, this is Amy and Amanda encouraging you to go get all of your all of your check. This coffee talk has turned into a PSA.
this coffee talk is helping you reach your deductible for the year. Please go now. Although I will say this, I work 4 days a week at a school. This is the time. Summer's the time. We're checking off everything. Everyone's getting their
Yeah,
teeth cleaned.
yeah,
Everyone's getting the orthodontist stuff done. Everyone's getting their checkups done, their shot. Like we're doing it all because I don't want to miss school.
yeah. Get it all done now. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah,
It's too much of a pain to miss school.
yeah. Knock it all out.
All right, so then what else is going on? So my kids are home. We don't have camps or anything this summer. We did have a camp for my middle one but some boys were being buttholes. So we took a day off from camp today.
Yeah.
But that's and then other than that, my kids are gonna come up and help me deliver textbooks at the school. It's gonna be really exciting. Although they love that. You kind
Yeah.
of feel like when you're a kid and you're at your school when no one else is there and
Mm.
you can roam the halls and do whatever you want.
Oh yeah, that's super. I can remember doing that sometimes. That's
Right.
fun.
It feels super cool
Yeah.
to them. It feels super cool to them.
Well, this is our only camp this summer. So this is my only week without a kid home during the day. We did no day camps this year because she's a theater kid and she is in a main stage show, meaning it's not a kids show, it's a full-on adult show.
So it's
And
all nights.
yeah, and so that means she has rehearsal every single day from 7 to 10 p.m. and Saturdays and Sundays 1 to 5. So she decided she did not want to do any day camps because she didn't want to be exhausted going into rehearsals. So,
Yeah. I want
yeah,
to do that.
the 1980s summer this year. After the
Um, you know what's random that we should talk about? The Titan show that we're both so into.
Oh, with the submersible? Oh my gosh, yes. The
Fascinating.
submarine.
I was telling a friend of mine about this yesterday. He was like, "Yeah, I'm looking for a new show to watch." I was like, "I'm gonna do you a favor right now. I'm gonna change your life." I was go watch Titan on Netflix, and then I don't remember the name of it, but there's a Discovery Channel one as well. But it's two different documentaries on the same topic about the submersible that imploded
Yes.
um, by the Titanic. It is like my new fascination. I can't read enough about this stuff.
I mean, I can remember when it happened, right? It happened just a couple, like I remember the news story when it
Yeah, it
happened.
was recent, very
Yeah, it
recent.
was recent. Thinking, oh my gosh, I think it was like 2022 or something. We could probably look that up here, but it's pretty recent. I remember happening, thinking, oh my gosh, that's so horrible. That's so awful. Um, and kind of thinking, I guess that's just maybe a risk you take if you're going down that deep in something. But then after watching these two documentaries, and you're right, there's one on Netflix, and then the other one I watched it on HBO Max because it is like a Discovery channel one. I think they're both called like one I think is called Implosion, the Titan sub disaster.
Yeah, they both have to do with Titan.
Yeah, I and we don't want to spoil it for anybody. I had no idea how many red flags were
Yeah,
happening. I also didn't know it wasn't necessarily like a research type vessel. Like I knew there were civilians on it.
right.
Um, but
But it was meant to be a moneymaker. It wasn't meant for research.
yeah, and I
Yeah.
didn't realize because of that there was like zero oversight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, crazy. Thing that got me, I still can't get over this. And maybe this is too much. I don't know. If it's too much, we'll edit it out. Or if we don't want to edit it out, plug your ears if it's too much. But they at first when it happened, they said, "Oh, these people are stuck down there. They only have 40 hours of oxygen left, and we're all praying that they're okay." All these things. Come to find out, the implosion happens so fast that their brain didn't process that something had happened.
Yeah, they had no
Like the way that your body takes it and then your brain realizes that something's happened, it was faster than that. And it said they went from like breathing to pink dust. And I
idea.
was like, pink dust?
Mhm.
That's the phrase. Holy, I've never heard that phrase before in my life.
I know, which I think gave me some solace thinking, oh, okay, like,
They had
especially,
no idea.
yeah, they had no idea, especially because there was like a father son on there. Like,
Right. It did make you feel better. And I feel like that would give you comfort
yeah,
knowing that there was no suffering, that they, were just down there and then all of a sudden they weren't.
yeah,
But I was like, I have never heard anything like that before in my life.
yeah,
It's just fascinating. Like we live in the world where, you know, too much information is sometimes not a good thing.
yeah.
But I want all the information.
Right, right. Well, go check it out, Bronze Medal Moms. I am a TV buff. There is probably nothing that you have that's on TV that I haven't watched. And people are probably like, oh my gosh, you just spend all your time on the couch? No. but I always have the TV on. It's kind of like my emotional support thing during the day, especially because I work from home. I'm here by myself. So there are certain shows where like you legit need to sit down and pay attention. And then there's other shows that I just like have on that I can be like working or cleaning or, doing tasks. But I love TV. I know a lot of moms who are like, "Oh, I don't watch TV until the kids go to bed." Yeah, I can't do that. I'm too tired. So
Wow.
like,
My husband and I bond over TV. We like that's how we even at the end of each day, we'll have a cocktail or a glass of wine, a beer, and like sit, recap the day, and then watch a show.
yeah, I love it. Do you
Do
have certain
something funny.
shows? You have certain shows you only watch together?
Yes, and I do classify it as cheating
Yeah,
if he moves on with an episode. In fact,
yeah,
he did go ahead and finish a whole series without me, and I still haven't caught up. I'm like, well, it's dead to me now
right,
because
right.
and he was like, no, it was good. You should watch it. And I was like, no.
Nope. Yep, yep, yep. We do the same. There's a few shows that.
I consider it a break in our marriage if you watch the show that way. How dare you, sir? How dare you?
How dare you? Well, I love it. I've got like my trashy TV. I always have true crime on. In fact, Keith
I was
Morris.
gonna say, what's in the background? True crime stuff?
Oh yeah, Keith Morrison is definitely my emotional support TV guy who's always on. I love me a good Keith Morrison.
He could read the phone book with his soft, soothing
Oh,
voice.
I know. It's so soothing. And there's a 24-hour Dateline channel. So usually, even when I leave the house, because I keep the TV on for the dogs, they get Dateline
They
24/7.
need their Dateline. Do you know what I do? Which Chris, my husband Chris gets upset about. Um, I love Snapped. That
Oh,
show
me too.
about like the women that just like they snap and
Yeah,
they kill the spouse and Chris will turn on the TV like how you turn on the TV and it shows what somebody was watching
yes.
and they'll pull up Snap and he's like, "You doing okay today, babe? Okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good now. I just watched. I'm good."
Well, you guys know I used to work with crime scene investigators and with law enforcement, and someone snapping is actually not actually accurate. That does not actually happen.
Tell me more.
Well, I recommend everybody go listen to the podcast Real Crime Profile with Jim Clemente, but people just don't wake up one day and snap.
No, no.
But speaking of Snapped, I also love that show. I used to like watch it in bed. Steve hates the narrator's voice. I mean, this was even before Adelaide.
Ah,
Yeah, so like 15 years ago, he was like, babe,
no Keith Morrison. It's no
he's like,
Keith
no.
Morrison.
He's like, you cannot listen to Snapped while I'm trying to go to sleep. I can't do it. Like it's like nails on a chalkboard. But
How funny.
I know. So I don't watch Snapped as often as I used to.
Uh, it's a winner. It's just a winner. And you know what it is? I told Chris this once. I was like, look, you don't have to worry. 9 times out of 10, these women are killing their spouses because they're cheating, which I'm not cheating, or they have a ridiculous amount of gambling debt, which I also don't have that. So really, we're in the clear for both of those things. It's like a 10% chance I'm going to kill you. That's
It,
it.
that's what they say in law enforcement. It's drugs, money, or sex.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
And I'm good on those. So I think the chances of me killing Chris are pretty slim to none.
Great.
He can sleep
Good
safe
to
at
know.
night. He'll be
Good
fine.
to know since it's now on a podcast.
Since it's not a podcast. Watch this be later.
That's all right.
Andy, did you say yes? Yes, I did.
Yes, I did. Oh, goodness. Yes, I miss my crime scene law enforcement days. It feels like a lifetime ago when I used to do that. So,
That's so fascinating, though. It's such like a different world. So you
well,
have the crime scene days. I feel like we both have these little different lives. That when I was actually in Dallas last week, so they're closed down the Neiman Marcus flagship store, and that was where I had my first job. And it's my passion is window design and like store display design. And I got my start at the Neiman Marcus flagship store, and it was like going back in time of like I remember that life. That was a totally different life.
so it's so funny. We have this connection. I think I've told you this before, but my grandmother, who's 103, My grandpa was a Navy pilot
Uh-huh.
and they were stationed in Dallas. And so they lived in Dallas for a while. And my grandmother still, when I go see her, will ask me about the Neiman Marcus
Hmm.
because that was the place where like all of the officers' wives shopped.
Yep.
And it was iconic and it was like the place to be back in the day. And so she asked me about the Neiman Marcus all the time.
Oh, it was the place to be in the early 2000s when I was there. And it was just a very like, how you graduate college and like they try to prep you that they're like, you're not going to get your dream job right away. Like, it ain't going to be fluffy. It ain't going to be pretty. You got to work hard. And it is hard work. Like, doing windows is, you don't make any money
Yeah.
and it's a lot of hard work. But I'm telling you, like, celebrities in the store, like designers writing notes to us to thank us for windows, designers in the store. It was like a magical, magical time. And then I went to be like an adult.
Yeah. I worked in retail. I was never like a server in food service. I always worked in retail.
Yeah, I still. Do you know actually one time, this is so funny. So I did get a job in the summer as a beer cart girl, which is a fantastic job because you can make great money. But one, I don't really know how golf works, so I'd get in trouble for that. And then two, this one day it rained like crazy and they thought the rain was going to stop though. So everybody just went back to the clubhouse and they said, "Well, Amanda, go ahead and just serve beer and stuff in the clubhouse and then hopefully we get back on to the greens." I'm not kidding how bad my memory is. I couldn't remember beer orders. So bad, I'm not kidding. I did get fired the next day, but I wheeled the fridge out into the lobby and I was like, "Hey, what do you want?"
Yeah.
Just all I could do was one at a time. Because if I have people yelling at me different orders, I'm like, I don't, no, I'm not listening. I'm not listening at all. I don't know what's happening. I don't want to be here. Whereas if I'm in a store and someone's like, "Grab me this and this," and I'm like, that's easy to me.
Yeah.
Grabbing, no, I could never. My sister always worked in, I think that's one or the other. Like, you can work in a restaurant or you can work retail. You
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. I always wonder, I'm like, well, I wonder what Adelaide will do.
Oh, if you ask Rue, she wants to be an influencer, but specifically like help animals or something like that. It's something. We were in a car with her friend and her friend was like, "I've been sketching out like different homes. I'm really interested in the architectural design of different homes and like the way the lighting is in homes." And I was like, "Wow, that's really cool that you're into that." And she's like, "Yeah, I think I either want to be like an architect or like a home designer or a builder when I grow up." And I was like, "Cool." And then my daughter, she's like, "I just want to be an influencer." I was like, "Awesome.
It's just so different.
Awesome."
Yeah, it's so different the world we live in, which we'll have to do. I know we're going to do an episode on technology, and so I won't go off on a tangent. But one thing I was thinking about these crime shows, it reminded me of a memory. So I've always watched crime shows. My mom has always watched crime shows. I mean, I've written two books on crime scene investigation. So like we're in it, right?
Yeah.
And when Adelaide was little, ever since she could talk, we would always have those conversations about like, you know, not stranger danger, but just like your body and protecting it and like, all the things. And she's sitting on the potty one time, and I asked her the same question that I'd asked her a million times. Adelaide, what do you do if somebody grabbed you and tried to take you? And she was little, so it was usually like I would scream or I would yell. Well, this particular time she goes, I would punch them and kick them and leave them for dead. And Steve looked at me and he was like, I think you should stop watching your crime shows in front of her. And then I was like, well, actually, that's a pretty good answer.
You're like, "Really?" Because I think she's dead on.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with it.
Like, all right, first you go for the eyes. That's
Yeah,
what you do.
yeah,
And you're going to use your elbows.
yeah, right.
So, you know what? I was trying to look this up real quick, and I don't know her name. You might know her name. Um, she was a writer, and she helped catch the Golden State Killer.
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. Go ahead.
And she passed away.
Yep. Her
But
husband
I
is
watched
famous.
a documentary on her, and she's married to the actor.
Yes, her husband's the actor. Her name is
Yes,
Michelle McNamara.
yes, Michelle
Yes.
McNamara.
Yeah.
So I thought this was so fascinating. I watched a documentary on her, and she was talking about like how people get obsessed over true crimes and all this like why are we so fascinated with it? And it seems so dark and so like depressing. But the reason that we're actually so into it is because there's an end to the story. So each time there's like a Dateline episode or something, there's an end that usually justice is done or they're found or like there's a quote unquote happy ending kind of, but it's like we watch and we listen to it because there is an ending and it is like a justified ending. That was her take on it. And I thought it was so fascinating that I was like, yeah, it's true. Like I don't half watch a Dateline.
Yeah.
I wait till the end because I want to see like, did they catch him?
Yeah.
Did they go to prison? Did they find
Yeah.
her? What are they doing?
Yeah.
All the things. I thought that was really interesting.
Very interesting. We should do a whole episode on how to talk to your kids about certain things like that. Not like major true crime, but like we live in a different age nowadays. And just like the conversation I always had with Adelaide when she was on the potty, like those are conversations to have as moms with your kids.
Do you want to hear the craziest thing that happened the other day?
Yeah, I do.
So, Vacation Bible School, like Rue is now able to volunteer. She's going to middle school. So we're talking
But
like all the volunteers are middle schoolers. It's
yeah.
just, gossip galore and all the talking. They're such good kids. So, but she was, I don't even remember the premise of the story, but she said this while she was telling me a story. She's like, yeah, or like a total creeper in a red van, in a creepy red van. And I go, in a red van?
Very
Why is
specific.
it a red van?
Right.
And she goes, well, that's what creepy vans are. Like all the red vans are creepy. And I go, no, they're not. The white ones are creepy. And she was like, why would a white van be creepy? And I was like, why would it not be creepy? A white unmarked van is totally creepy. And I was thinking about it. I was like, oh my God, this generation has to change everything and make it their own. Did they change creepy white van to be a red van?
Yes, I guess. You're right. All the like they had to change all the words. I tell Adelaide all the time, at least our generation, we made up words. We didn't like use words that mean something else. I can't I can't keep up
No.
the with the kids. So I bet they did change it to a red van.
Yeah.
I
My
think
favorite I saw this reel once and it was a young kid and they had gone to McDonald's and they got a white or a vanilla soft serve ice cream and they were like, "Guys, check this out. Check out what I'm going to do." And they went ahead and they put uh Coke on top of the ice cream and they're like, "This is so good." And the reel was like, "If you think you invented a Coke float. You guys have a like, what is wrong with you people?" They're like, no, no, look what we discovered. Like it's a Coke float.
Oh, it's so hilarious.
It was so funny. I was like, yeah, that's what they do. They're like, no, creepy red van. And I was like, it's not a creepy red van. What are you talking about?
No, that's so funny. Now I'm gonna be on the lookout for creepy red vans.
I know, but I feel like you don't see creepy red vans. You see creepy white vans.
Oh my goodness. Well, I have really enjoyed this coffee talk.
I know. It's random but fun. We hope you
Yeah.
guys enjoyed our random funness.
Yeah. You know what I
Funny
think
about the
would be,
day.
I think it would be fun to get like another mom or two on and do like a coffee talk, group coffee talk, or maybe even like a wine talk. I think that could be fun.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Yes, I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, and maybe we do it like at the end of the week and we all just chat about like mom wins and fails from the week or something. I think
I
that could be.
like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, well now we have to make that happen.
All right. Well, thank you for listening, Bronze Medal Moms. Until next time, remember that we are not going for gold, we're just going for bronze.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for listening to our moms on Bronze Medal Moms.
Don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. See you soon.